Hey,
What's going on?
what's the word? What's the word? What's the word?
What's going on? Wait, are we early and everybody late? Is that what it is? Is that what I'm
Bitch, I don't know what the fuck because it's 8 o'clock and it's our season finale
It's
and no one is here.
and they nobody in the comments giving shots. What the hell?
Right.
Did they think that we was already done for the year? What's going on? What? I don't understand.
Oh, Lola's here. All right, Lola. Wait a minute. Lola is the first one here. I bet. There we go.
Yay! On 2 laptops. Come on, Lola. You better double laptop it.
So yes.
I was checking to see.
This is the season finale, and I am in my onesie because I am prioritizing comfort above all else for this evening. So there we go.
Every night that we do this show, I have to prioritize my comfort and what I'm doing. You notice how I'm laying on my couch now? That's what I'm talking about. I'm leaning a little bit on the couch now. Leaning on the couch. That's what I'm doing.
I know that's right.
You know, you gotta pick your priorities and you gotta make sure everybody's good. Lola, first of all, I'm glad that you are here, and it's just we can just talk just amongst us, squirrel friends. Oh no, and the Louboutin jumped in, so and Bougie jumped in. Okay, all right. There's everybody
in the tub. So does that mean you're all moist and good smelling?
You're moist and dewy. Is that where you are, Tyra? Are you a little?
Wait a minute. She says aloha. Are you in Hawaii or are you just saying aloha?
You're just saying aloha booze.
I'm with it either way, but
I mean, she's about to moisturize. Okay, thank you, Lola.
Yeah, okay. So guess where I was in the Dollar Tree yesterday, and they had Breyer's ice cream as well as Talenti gelato
in the dollar store.
In the dollar store,
I would check all the expiration dates on them. Hello.
That is accurate, but assuming it is good, they had my flavors too. They had my strawberry cheesecake, my salted caramel. So
So well, wait a minute. What about did they have Bluebell? Because I know Bluebell is one of your favorites too.
No, girl, they had the Bluebell. That's a Walmart purchase.
Okay.
When I go to Florida next week, I will be eating Bluebell ice cream every day. Not every.
Oh.
Every day.
Okay.
Every day.
EREDE. Every day.
E''ERY. Every day.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I got you. Okay. I got it.
It's a Prince George's County thing, so
Come on, Bougie. I'm expensive and in Molly from the good hood of the capital. Listen.
Yes.
I got nothing to say. I got nothing to say. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. So listen, y'all know this is our final show for the season.
Yes.
And we're gonna do what we always do, which is talk about a few things. We talk about our weeks and a couple articles and show some tickety-tocketies and all that good stuff. But I just want y'all to know that we have a special guest that is here, and she's in the background. She's waiting because it brought up a topic that I felt like needed to be discussed. And so I'm hoping that you all will welcome her when we bring her in. But let's go through our week first before we jump into the subject matter, because I wanted to see if anybody else is going to pop up. So, but first of all, thank you, Lola, for joining. Thank you, Bougie, for being here. Thank you, Luby. Luby, I ain't even seen you. We have to have a conversation, but anyway.
Right. I'm like, where's she been? She don't love us no more.
Yeah, like, and I was going to say, was Special not here? I don't see Eccentric. I don't see Dez. I don't see Spiller. Where's everybody at? What's going on? Because this is
the season finale of all shows.
I mean, come on, like that's how we doing it. That's what it could be another cliffhanger like we had before. Like, I mean, hello.
We should have done another cliffhanger. It's too late. I haven't thought about it yet. And it was like, dun, dun, dun.
It was like the cliffhanger, the 20-minute cliffhanger.
Right.
But that's a whole other story.
Because your acting was,
So what you're saying is I'm not gonna get my EGOT because I'm not gonna get my Oscar or my. That's what you're saying. Okay, so that's how we're doing it. We're gonna talk about my acting, saying bad, but are we gonna talk about the fact that the whole script was both of us? What we gonna do?
I really don't know what you're talking about because I thought it was, Oscar worthy. So there we go.
I mean, hey, Trey Day, I haven't seen you. Hey, what's going on? I haven't seen you in God knows how long. Glad to see you. Thank you for coming in here. But so anyway, let's jump right.
Bougie girl got the memo, the onesie memo. So
see, she is a super fan. That's what's going on. She's a super
fan. The way this is annoying me. I'm trying to get this, get this right, and I need to
bring it down to your eye level.
Yeah, but
up if you can.
All of it. It's a lot going on back here. I think I'm at the lowest setting already. This is a lot. I'm
giving you some. I'm trying to give you some options. That's all I was trying.
If I do that, then I go down. See,
like, oh my God, he's 5 years old. It was like, oh my God, thank you, Little Dominion, for joining us.
Exactly. Hey, everybody. It's all good. We're going to make it work. So
listen, this week has been it's been weeky. I predicted to Grace, because we work at the Black Degree Factory in different areas, about a few things. And one of the things that I was consistent with was the fact that everybody and their grandmama was going to wait at the last minute to ask for something to be done. So when I realized that, okay, well, that's no problem. I'm going to go ahead and take this Friday off. That's what I'm doing. I put that date in a while ago. What I didn't think about was I probably should have took the whole week off. That's what I probably should have done.
This week or next week?
This week I should have taken off because everybody is realizing that the week is ending. Today is Wednesday, let's be clear. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, all day, are the two parties that I'm supposed to be in. And so if you didn't get what you was going to get from me today by 5 o'clock, you think you're going to get it tomorrow? Is that what we're doing? I have one thing that I'm going to turn into my direct supervisor, and that is on Friday morning. And I actually did it, and I can give it to her now, but I want to ask her a question before I give it to her, because she's one of those people where it's like, let me just ask you this question, because if you say yes to this, then I'll send you this version, and if you say no to this, then I'll send you that version. So that's before I send it. So it's already done. Let's be clear about that. Mm-hmm. But the week has been interesting. So we always share and talk about everything on the show, so I'll share this. Right. This weekend was really interesting for me because I just didn't feel like doing much of anything. I wanted to just sit around and not do anything. I got to a point in the weekend when I looked around, I was like, damn, my place is a mess. I was like, I'm stepping over the socks from, a day ago or 2 days ago. And I got the pajamas over here. And then I brushed my teeth that morning or whatever. Like I had to figure that type of stuff out. But it was like, I kept looking around my place saying that my place is now showing my state of mind and what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. And I don't know if I was sharing this earlier. Grace and I were talking about this. I was like, I don't know if I'm in a depression state or something, if I just needed a moment, if I just need to do some self-care. I don't know what that was, but I didn't want to talk on the phone. I didn't really want to go nowhere. I just went, got some coffee, came on back, got my donuts, and I'm not bothered. Now I watched a whole hell of a lot of TV, but it was just very like blah, and I was okay with it. But when I snapped out of it and finally cleaned my spot up, I then realized like, damn, I got to get some gifts for Christmas for the peoples. So I'm like, shit. So what should have been a very inexpensive trip has now turned into, now we're in 3 digits. I was like, listen, I ain't really planning on spending this type of money on y'all. Not this, but like the people I work with. Like, I like y'all somewhat, but like...
You getting gifts for your coworkers?
So here's the thing. I always will get gifts for my direct reports of my staff. What has changed is I am no longer there's someone in between me and the staff that I was working with. So they're still under me, but I wasn't going to buy them anything in particular because their new supervisor said, "Oh, I got them. I'm going to get them something." Okay, great. Well, that leaves that one young lady and the other person as my staff. That's they report directly to me. So the other 6 people, I was like, well, if you want to take care of them, that's fine. But then I kind of felt like, okay, I got to do something for them because I did last year and I did for the whole office last year. So I was like, let me just go ahead and get them something. So listen, it's not a major thing. It's a very small little gift I'm throwing in the bag for them, and that's it. We're going on half of it with them. But for my 2 direct reports, one of them, she is, I think I've said it before, she has more, her sick time alone, to show you how long she's been there, her sick time alone, she has over 2 years worth of sick time.
Right.
So this young lady that's been there for more than 40 something years, more than 45 years, actually more like 47. I figured I might as well, I'm not giving you a gift. I'm giving you a gift card, and I'm going to make it a nice amount for you because I feel like you should do that. And I'm not saying it's something like $900 or something like that. No, not at all. But, this is not a $20 gift. So it's fine. But whatever. And then my direct reports, so I got them. But I was kind of pissed off that just that quick, I kind of spent more money than I anticipated on spending on gifts for everybody. Christmas is expensive. You got cards and bows and envelopes and bags and all types of gifts and papers and stuff. And it's fun, but it's like, damn it.
It don't have to be expensive.
Well, expensive is relative also. So let me be clear. So what I may have spent may not necessarily be expensive when I sit back and think about it in the grand scheme of things, but it's not what I wanted to spend originally. I wanted to spend $50 and that was it.
For everybody?
Everybody. But
that feels like that's going to be difficult to make happen.
Yeah, because at the last minute, my new report said to me, "Are you getting something for upper management?" And I was like, "Fuck them hoes." They ain't give me nothing.
Bitches make money. They got money. They good.
Like, what the fuck? So, but then I thought about it and I was like, all right. So that's what made
okay, bitch. All right.
Yeah. And then, she said, all right, I'll go in half for you. I was like, okay, fine. So that's it. So I was like, that's the only reason I did it. But other than that, it's been a good week. I'm looking forward to the time off. I'm looking forward to not being so tense and being a little
Pay no attention to me readjusting all of my shit. So keep talking.
Yeah, so I mean, that's just kind of what I'm looking forward to at this particular point. I'm looking forward to lots of downtime where if I decide that I want to start my morning with a wake and bake or end my day with a nap and bake or whatever it is, I'm gonna do that because I'm just gonna go ahead and do what I want to do. But I really just want to focus on spending time with myself and doing all the things that I want to do. Where I'm at this particular point. I think 50 brought that in. It's like, well, I just want to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, which is, I think, why I enjoyed my vacation so much when I went down to Cancun. But I don't necessarily know if that's going to happen, but I'll figure that out. But in any event,
we still got a whole European adventure to plan.
That is correct. And that's another thing I need to actually finish out. That's going to be a nice arm, a leg, and a kidney to make that happen for me. But it's cool. I knew that I wanted to do it, so I'm not complaining about any of the prices. Let me be clear. It's just I got to do it. That's all it is. Because it's something I wanted to do, and it looks amazing. It's going to be amazing. So, but other than that, that was pretty much all my week. I don't really have too much to say. We are going to talk about, obviously, a couple other things that happened that we did earlier in the week. But that was pretty much my week so far, or what my week has been.
Excellent.
So, what about yours?
Shall work. That's about it. We are inside of a week until my vacation. After the 19th, which is next Tuesday, I am gone and out of pocket until January the 2nd.
I got you.
So I am good and ready to go. These girls done ticked me off. Now, we did get our STI or notice of FTI, supplemental incentive.
So you got your bonus.
The bonus, yes. And
the bonus doing what you needed to do, because you were having that conversation. You were like, If the bonus ain't bonusing, you like, okay. See, wait, we already know it's gonna be some bullshit because there is the hand in the pause.
So this is the biggest bonus that I have ever received in my life. Yes. So, as a percentage of my total of the, what can I? Okay, let's see. I haven't done the math yet. So, so I got a 14% bonus. That's gross.
That's a one-time bonus and not.
No, that's the annual bonus.
I mean, meaning annual, meaning it was not a salary increase. It was a bonus. Okay.
I did get a salary increase,
but that's separate.
That was separate. So yes, that was it. But it was still, the gross bonus was fine. The net bonus after taxes.
They done got your ass on them taxes.
Was not bonusing the way that I needed to be bonused.
Oh yeah,
that bonus was not bonusing the way that I needed it to bonus. So yeah, some of my great and grand plans for what I was going to do, not in the next 6 months, but in the next 6 days, is scaled back, and that is totally fine. You know, I'm still going to pay off some bills. I'm still going to get some stuff done, but it's just not going to be quite as everything that I thought it was going to be beforehand. And, you know, Dylan's like, okay, Daddy Warbucks, it's not even like that. And this is why I don't even like to talk about that, because the girls be like, oh, so I heard you got a bonus. So, you know, can I borrow like $100? Like, no. I just want to be clear to you that even if you saw me wearing a solid gold suit that was lined with $100 bills, you cannot borrow any money from me.
I mean, why you got to have $100 bills? I mean, why don't you just get the 50s? Because, you know, I'm just saying.
I'm not talking to you, Dylan. I'm saying that this is not the first time where I've talked about, you know, whatever, the job or whatever, and the people will be like, oh, you know, I want something. Like, no, girl, you're not getting anything from me. You need to make whatever it is that you have work. So again, everything wasn't giving what it was supposed to had gave. Right, so we're gonna get meatballs. The meatballs are gonna be made from turkey instead of short rib for the function.
And when Incentive jumped in and said, TS always says, I'm broke. Like, okay, all right, girl, you broke.
Exactly. Yeah, but then you just signed $1 million bill. Yeah, but I may have signed $1 million contract, but I got $2 million in bills. So I'm still broke, just at a higher level.
$2 million in bills, and the taxes hit on that bonus. And guess what? The bonus ain't bonusing. That's what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not at all mad. I'm annoyed at our tax structure.
Oh yes, most definitely.
But I'm not annoyed and I'm not mad. So it's fine. So we'll see. But you know, the bonus was cute. The little merit increase was like, I guess I don't merit much, but I mean, they're not giving out huge merit increases. This is what you give up in becoming Amtrak is essentially the government. This is what you give up when you're working for the government or with a large organization. You get these small pay increases instead of huge bumps in salary. Because you generally only get a huge bump in salary by getting bumped up in the organization to some different level or by taking a new job. And so, you know,
the federal government structure, the way they're set up, you don't jump so much from one level to unless it's another, like you said, another position. Like,
well, there's only 2 levels between me and a vice presidency. So
listen, when you get to the vice presidency, you'll be able to say, I want this before I start. That's it.
Right. And so we'll see. We'll deal with that. So, but other than that, everything is cool. You know, some of the kids continue to try it. And one particular one, I was entertaining it because he was cute-ish. So what I said to my work buddy, she was like, "Who are you talking about?" So I could see the picture, and I told him who it was, and I was like, "Let me just be clear. He's not really cute. He's Amtrak cute."
Okay.
So, I mean, you work at the Black Degree Factory. It's some cuties that work there. And maybe it's some cutie. I mean, well, some of the students is cute. I don't know about the faculty.
I'm gonna drink my Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, please.
So, but he said the wrong thing out of his mouth, and his little cute factor went down. So,
Lord have mercy. Hey, Eccentric. Hey, Dylan. Hey, Joshua.
Amtrak cute means he's among the most attractive people there, but if you put him in a larger community, he's just average.
He look like everyday Joe. That's what he look like.
Right. I mean, so for the group of people that he is in, he is on the if this is the average and this is less attractive to me, he is above the line. But if we were somewhere else, like if we were at MAL or at a random gay bar or whatever, he will be way below the line. And of course, I mean, he's somebody that I work with, so nothing was ever going to happen anyway. He's definitely not cute enough for me to lose my job over.
Well, he might be low in the totem pole, but until you see his booty hole. If he shows up to MAL, and he shows his booty hole, you might be like,
let's be clear, he don't work for he's not in my chain of command at all. So if he shows up at MAL, he'll probably get it.
wait, Bougie, not that cute enough to get salad and Chipotle and maybe a brown liquor drink.
Maybe.
Oh my God.
We'll see. It could happen.
I can't.
So that's that. Before we get into these tickety talks, let's just jump into we got a good crowd now. Let's just jump into our special guest.
So yes, okay. So ladies and gentlemen, Simba's joining us too. Hey Simba. So ladies and gentlemen, listen, I wanted to bring, you've heard me talk about her several times, and I wanted to bring her on. This is my Grace, and I wanted my Grace to come on and to show her face. And because we had a moment this weekend, we were having a conversation about something. But I wanted to bring it to the masses because I was trying to reach out to everybody that I can think of because I wanted to have a conversation about this. Grace, are you there? Are you available? Are you reporting?
I'm available. Yes, I am.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you for joining us, Grace. Welcome to the BGKH show for the first time. Thank you so much. So let's jump right into it. So. Grace and I were having a conversation, and correct me because I want to say the whole story. Grace and I were having a conversation.
I will correct you if you are wrong.
Thank you so much. We were having a conversation, and well, wait a minute. So this is what we do on the show. We talk about all types of shit. So the morning that you roll back in the house,
I mean, shame the devil.
Listen. We've already had the conversation about a whore bag and everything else. So she rolled back in the house, and she came in. We were reporting about last night, and she said, "You know what?" She said something happened. And I was like, "What?" She was like, "When I was there at my side piece's house, because I am the side piece because he has a boo." She said I was a little bit annoyed because his boo called while I'm there. And I was a little upset, and I wanted to know why she got a call during this time. I mean, can you just let me know what time she normally calls? Because this way I won't be here. Because why she got a call during my time? Like, why she got to be here? And then I said to her, well, wait a minute. Hold on. If you was his boo, you would call whenever the hell you wanted to call, and you would expect him to pick up. So now that you are playing the role of the side piece, stay in your lane and play the role of the side piece. So that's what started a conversation between us about this. And I wanted to bring it to the masses because I wanted everybody to chime in. And just so that we're clear, Grace, if you look at the screen, it says at the top, private chat and comments. If you click on comments, you should be able to see everybody's comments as they're coming up. I just want you to, because I want you to be clear that you can see that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, did I miss anything? Did I not share anything? Did I tell anything incorrectly?
No.
Okay. So I bring this question to you, BGKH show viewers. So the first question is, was I wrong for saying to Grace, stay in your lane, the lane of the side piece? Because if I'm wrong, I will absolutely apologize. But the point I was trying to drive home to her was, you can't get mad because that's the role that you've assigned yourself. You've agreed to this position. I'm sorry. There's a question from the Dominion. There's a question.
Hi, I have a question for the happy homewrecker. I'm totally joking, but I agree. Listen, I'm not here to judge what your relationships are, but know where you are in that, right? So, and so here's why I say that, because I was one of the many side pieces before my boyfriend decided to upgrade to the best piece. And when, now let's be clear. The husband knew that the husband knew that I existed. The husband did not know that the other side pieces existed. But whenever my boyfriend wanted to or needed to spend time with the husband, I understood that I was in no position to say anything. We would be in the middle of fucking, and the husband would call, not because he was trying to interrupt, partially because he didn't necessarily know we were together at that particular moment. But I also felt like that's not my position to get in the middle of that. It's just you're setting yourself up for that, right? We understand how relationships work, and his primary relationship might not be working the way that he wants it to. But if you are if you accept your role as the side person or the other person, then I know it's hard to hear and it's hard to accept, but
No.
it is what it is, at least in my opinion.
I accepted my role. All
Okay.
I said was, why do I have to be privy to the conversation?
Oh, so he could have.
Personal conversation.
It
I
could have
don't
been like
need to
ring,
hear what's
ring,
going
ring,
on.
ring, 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 ring.
Hey, what's up? What's up, baby?
And you sitting there like, oh, you can at least take this phone call like in another room or something? You just gonna talk to this bitch right here in my face? I don't know if he's a bitch or not.
Hello.
Okay.
But I don't understand.
No.
I mean, so that's one. But to me, that's
so side pieces don't have no rights to request respect and.
Wait a minute. We have gone off the deep end. We talk about respect. Wait.
RESPECT. Find out what it means to me.
No, that conversation could be had in another room. I understand my role, but you guys are talk. Sometimes if that woman doesn't know that I'm there, that person may be on the phone like, hey, how was your day? I miss you. I can't wait to do.
So wait a minute. Wait. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what so tell me what the issue is, because that's what I'm trying to understand.
I know I'm the side piece, but I feel like when the phone calls are taken, that it's a reminder that I'm a side piece. That was my initial concern.
So it's not that he had the phone call, it's that you are reminded that you're the side piece, so you're unhappy being the side piece? Is that what this is?
No, I enjoy being the side piece. What I said to him was, when I'm with you, that's my time. That's the way I look at it. But the relationship you have with that person is separate from me. Why do I have to have that relationship brought into our time together?
Y'all time together.
Not a phone call. Yes.
And I think Lola's aligned to that too. It's like, dude should have excused himself.
But wait a minute. Y'all time together at his house on his phone when his boo calls him.
I understand where you're coming from too, Epic, but I'm saying from Grace's perspective, I can also see Grace's perspective that, like, listen, I understand that this is a complicated relationship, but right at this moment, you and I are spending time together. And, if you're going to do that, the least you could do is go out of the room when you're having this conversation. Because, listen, I don't know how the heterosexuals talk, but she could have been like, yeah, I can't wait to get home and suck you off or whatever. You're going to eat my last time. And you're like, well, damn, maybe I don't want to hear that. But also, Grace, I will still say that ultimately you have rights as a human being, but in this relationship, it feels like your needs are always going to come second.
Listen, and I get that. I get it. All I'm saying is it's my time. I don't care if it's 4 hours. That's my time. As a side piece, my role was understanding that you have someone else that you're going to go out with, you're going to spend time with. Our time together, whether it's 2 hours, whether it's 2 days, I expect that to be my time, especially when you invite me over.
Okay, I can hear that, because that is true. Like, you have come over to his house, you have prioritized time with him, and it's like, okay. But here's the thing, you know what it comes down to, at least for me, like with all relationships, you got to negotiate what the fuck you want and be like, listen, when we are together, I'm not telling you always got to put her on mute, because that's a recipe for her showing up unannounced. Right. But what you do is be like, listen.
To be clear, we already know. If y'all don't know, let me put y'all up with some game. If y'all don't know, you can imagine that I would be that type of person, and you can imagine the people that I hang around with would be that person that would show up at the. So listen, she doing all this. She would be that person that would show up at the door if she was trying to call her boo and he didn't answer or kept putting her to the side. She would be that person. She'd be like, "Hello, you didn't answer my call."
That's not my problem. That's between him and her.
Well, all right. Do we have any other questions from the audience?
Listen, Tyra has some funny stuff out here about this. No, you ain't.
I like bougie girl. She said, I get 2 days consecutively. And she agrees. I'm respectful in my whoreism. However, that's my time. That's how I see side piece. That's my time, with the understanding that you may always have someone else, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I can agree to that if that's the conversation that you all have had about how that is.
That conversation, correct?
Yes, we've had that conversation.
So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to that the world famous philosopher, the one that's been quoted, that is a Nobel Prize winner. So why is you mad? Why is you mad?
You mad? Would you like a cake? Because then you can be super mad.
I'm just trying to listen.
We're fucking with you, Grace.
I all of what you're saying, I still stand my ground behind.
Of course, you should.
And we made this deal that we would be each other's accountability partners. So it may not have been the right time to say it, but baby, I said it. I was like, listen, you signed on. Listen, my DNA appointment, very clear about what they wanted and what they did not want. When I had a conversation, I kind of brushed past it. They was just like, no, sir. No, sir. No way. Nobody. No can do. Hell no. Absolutely not. No. Not right now. Bill. No. They was just like, it was very clear.
I've accepted that terms. All I said was, can you take your phone call in another room? That's all I asked.
And what was his response?
I mean, the other option could be you just don't come over. And I said, well, okay.
Oh, well, see now I have a problem, right? Because now I have a problem. I mean, I was already on Team Grace, but here's my thing. If you want to have, adults have to stand by their decisions, right? Mm-hmm. So if you say that, all right, baby, for whatever reason, this is the nature of my life. I've got these 2 women and whatever. And then now one of them is like, I'm not telling you can't have conversations with your wife or your girlfriend. I'm just saying I don't want to hear it. And for them to say, well, the other option is for you to not to come over, you'd be like, you know what? That is true. I don't have to come over. And when you can respect me the way that I want to be respected, side piece or not, we all have the right to say how we want to be interacted with. And if he doesn't want to do that, which is his right, then you don't have to interact.
But I also don't see that he stated anything incorrect about what
he doesn't, but it was the tone. It was the tone.
So I wasn't there. And
I wasn't there either, but the tone. The tone.
But I will definitely say he can't give the tone like we can give the tone, but I'm sure he can give a tone. I'm just saying, I'm sure he can.
Because you could have been like, well, why can't you take the phone call in another room? And listen, I'd have been like, the other option is you could have stayed home.
Dun, dun, dun!
And let that silence sit right there. And then when he calls you, and you don't answer, you're like, listen, you said the other option was for me to stay home. I'm good with that, because side piece or no, you have chosen to be in a relationship with me. I don't care where I am in this. We understand that there are rules, but one of my rules is that when we spend time together, I'm spending time with you. Now, it'd be just like any other call. If it, for me, it's not even about the fact that it was his wife or girlfriend or whatever. If it had been a work call or your creditor saying you owe $500 on your Amex bill, take all that shit in the other room. We just don't need to be doing this, because this is like in the middle of my time. And since we don't live together and we aren't the primary partner, every moment that we have is special and precious. And, I don't need to get out of my groove by hearing you talk to your wife or your girlfriend.
Hello.
So listen.
Come on here.
So listen, I don't even have a problem with what he just said.
And Bougie girl, I didn't miss your comment, baby. I'm gonna go back and double that. I saw a twisted in the pretzel and a being with a woman in an unsalted something. I'm gonna go back and look at it.
I don't have a problem with what you said, and that is an option for how Grace could have said that and or could say that going forward. So let me be clear about that. Because again, if it's your time and you value it, that's great. But all I'm saying is, when you presented this to me, the tone was very much of, I can't believe that bitch called. When I was there, like, I can't believe. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. As your accountability
now, I'm not saying there's not a smidgen of that behind there. Now we're not gonna shame the devil. However, it's more of what Dominion said. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, okay. So listen, we are obviously going to feel how we feel, and it's okay to agree or disagree. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give my final statement, and as your accountability partner, this is where I stand. Stay in your lane. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
And as your accountability partner's third best friend, I will say that I see both sides of it. And for you, you're going to have to figure out how you want people to interact with you and stand firm in it. Because so many men and women, straight and gay, accept shit so that they can get something, but then they get mad over time because they continue to be disrespected, but they never said it. If this is really important to you and he isn't willing to do that, then you need to stand firm that no matter how good this dick is, you're not going to be interacted with. Because if you don't stand firm with it, then the disrespect is going to start at this place. And then the disrespect is going to slowly start to move into other areas, because you never set a firm, hell no, you won't interact with me right here. So you know how, like, if you don't set a firm ground with a child, they'll slowly start to try to do more and more crazy shit. That's how it is in relationships. If you don't establish that you're not going to talk to me or deal with me this way right here, is slowly going to end up over here. And then a year from now or two or whenever, you'll be like, how the fuck did we get here?
Listen, we're not gonna have this conversation, but Grace and I have had another conversation similar to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just
listen. They don't call me Man Landers for nothing.
I'm gonna just let that go, and that's where we at. Call what? Good to see you, baby. I'm glad you're here. And to be clear, Bougie, that DNA appointment did not make me late. It made me leave the party early because I was going over there to go get the motherfucking DNA. That's what it was. Now I'll be there on time at the next soiree.
We'll see, because the next soiree is Saturday, so there we go.
Now, Grace, as always, absolutely thank you, love you. You know, listen, we can agree to disagree. It is what it is, because we're gonna sit here, we're gonna break bread or we're gonna eat one of these Utz. Well, you gonna eat another Utz because I'm full and we good. So, but listen, thank you for coming on, and listen, everybody, please be on the lookout for Grace popping up here and there. But now that you all see her and you know who she is, if you happen to see her out in the street, just say hey to Grace.
Right.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you, Grace. Bye.
Bye. Bottom, you can click the leave studio. There you go.
I can, and then I can just, well, I don't want ban her. I don't need to kick her. She can do that herself. All right. So that was a good conversation. So yeah. I am going to start here. All right. Let me go ahead.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Before you go anywhere, I put DNA before you. Yeah, and I would hope you would put it before me too, because girl, I'm gonna cheer you on and say, go get that motherfucking DNA. Now, I'm just saying, love you, but I'm just saying, yes, I did. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, continue, Timmy.
All right.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So that was a really good performance from Patti LaBelle, and she was giving what was supposed to be gave, and it was what you would expect from a good old Patti performance, right? And so when it was announced that Ms. Patti LaBelle was coming to the MGM National Harbor Theater on Friday, December the 8th, I was like, bitch, we are going. And I was ready to go. But we have some observations.
This is, for me, this was the same thing as Renaissance. I'm glad that I went to the movie so that I could see the concert and see, because it was like a brand new concert for me. I saw stuff I didn't see before. The choreography I could get into, it was brand new for me. And if what you just showed was how she was actually performing in 2023, that is not what we got last Friday.
The performance that we got at National Harbor was phoned in. At best.
Phone, or was it more like
smoke signals,
telegraph, or smoke signal, like somewhere along those lines? Like there was a lot of it was a lot of breakup in there. It's for me.
So I am going to start at the end of the concert because Ms. Patti LaBelle came and did only about 55 minutes of performance. So let's start there.
Yeah, pretty much. What was my prediction? I said, listen, Patty's gonna have she's gonna have our asses out here. She's gonna be at home in her bed by 11 o'clock. Didn't I say that?
Right. The songs that she performed, you know, once you get past a certain age, right? No one's expecting you to come out with new music. You know, no one expects Cher to come out with new music. I mean, Madonna keep trying to come out with new music, but
Cher
whatever.
Has a Christmas album that's coming out, and
I mean brand new music. I don't mean everybody can do an album of Christmas standards, but there, you know, so no one expecting Patti She's in that group of divas or group of performers, because this is male, female, whatever. You know, before Tony Bennett died, you came up here to say, "Luck be a lady tonight."
Wait a minute. Bougie said her friend was the one that she gave her shoe to.
Oh, the one that was in the white?
The one that couldn't sing or dance?
Right. I was like, she spent more time giving out flowers and shoes and bringing hoes on the stage than she was singing. But anyway, my point was, we expected her to, there's some certain things you want to hear. You are my friend, check. What was the one with Michael McDonald? On My Own.
On My Own, but you also wanted to hear Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
She got up on that stage and did not sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow at all. I was sitting there like, the fuck?
Yeah.
I was pissed. I was pissed about the whole show, because here's go. So let's pretend she had sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow. You like, where and it wasn't even that. It was like,
she didn't even do all that.
She was singing like very lightly, and she's doing that thing that she does when her voice is so loud that she can, even with the microphone, be over here and still have it carry, but it wasn't carried. The volume of the microphones was low as shit. She only the show was supposed to start at 8. Started at 8:30. That's fine. No one starts exactly on time. We were out of there by 9:45, and that was with 3 costume changes and at least 1 break that lasted for a good 10 minutes.
Listen.
So she performed a total of 50 minutes. And in that time that she was on stage, she was giving out, her bougie girl's friend was giving perfume, and she was giving out shoes, and she was giving out flowers, and she was soft slinging. But that black hair bob,
that black bob, that little
bob, it was everything. The hair was bobbing.
But even her original hair was a little young, I thought, but it looked good on her. The hair was laid. But
I was just very disappointed in
what was old boy, Juicy or Gucci?
Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, all of that, but the performance was just too short. The time that she was on stage did not amount to a full hour.
She also had her background singers each do little solo parts as well.
Right. So then the time that she was actually on stage singing, and then she's like, you're supposed to be like, you are my friend. And, you're supposed to be like full into it. Like you could hear, because this is how Patti LaBelle sings. And if you don't like Patti LaBelle, you weren't at the concert. But if you like Patti LaBelle, this is the kind of singing that you expect. You expect her to be screaming into the microphone. Instead, she was like this.
She was listening.
You are my friend.
And then she did the background stuff. The stuff you hear in the background, she's doing the background vocal. She's like, yeah. Like floating.
I mean, she does do the dot. I mean, that's part of the thing. But it was like, this is a Patti LaBelle concert. You were expecting the volume of her voice to be here. It was here. She only sang maybe 60% of the words. It was a lot of, hi, yeah. And I was just like, I was just sitting there getting more and more pissed off.
It was
the whole time.
And I try to support my Philly people, and I love and respect the fact that she is like one of the legends from in Philadelphia. And I get it, but as a younger kid, I said before, I hated her because I thought it was so dramatic and so over the top and everything else.
I was that kind of gay where I loved that drama and the over the top, but I really wasn't into the fancy hair sculptures and stuff.
That was a lot.
I loved her voice. I loved her loud, screaming, in tune kind of voice, which is funny because I don't care for Fantasia, but Fantasia is the same kind of singer. Although I'm starting to get into her. And I guess it's because this run up to The Color Purple, who, by the way, her fucking outfit has Even if you didn't give a shit about Fantasia as a singer, Fantasia as a fashion icon, especially for like, Fantasia's not fat, but she's definitely a larger woman.
Fantasia has a shapely body, and
yes,
it works for her.
She has she's got a black shape like a lot of black women, black women, and baby, the outfits is outfitting. But back to Patti LaBelle, this concert was a whole disappointment. A whole disappointment. I don't think that there's anything good that I can say about any of the songs that she did, because Patty's also one of those that sort of change it up every time. And then at some point, maybe this is just me, but when, I mean, it works for Beyonce because Beyonce is young, you know, that's younger. It is funny that Beyonce is 40. I was like, that bitch is 40 years old. If you had asked me how old Beyonce was, I was like, she's probably 28, 29. I was like, that bitch is 40 years old.
She's 41, I think, this year.
Either way, but still.
Yeah, but
Patti LaBelle is 79. So I want to hear, you're going to the Patti LaBelle concert to hear You Are My Friend, Over the Rainbow. There's a little stylistic room, but I'm still expecting it to be kind of the song that I'm used to, because otherwise, why am I even here? I'm not here for new interpretations. That's not, once you get to a certain place in your career, we're not here for new interpretations of the song. We want to hear the old hits and hear it live. We want to hear it with people. And it was just a whole disappointment for me. Her outfits were fine. Her hair was fine. Her background singers, the one that she had been with for 40 years, she was amazing. The dude that she had on stage with her, I was just like, yeah, he's not giving it to her.
He checked the box. He was male.
Right.
Yeah. He's just, it was, I mean, but I mean, it was again, it was an okay evening. And honestly speaking, the other part of this story, that when we first got there, I kind of, Dominion and I were like surveying the room, and then I was like, okay, bitch, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I was like, bitch,
we are the oldest mother. We are the youngest bitches up in here. We weren't.
Right. But then I'm like, are we in the same age bracket? Like, are we sure? We got to be at the bottom of the age bracket.
I was like, son of a bitch.
But that was our age
bracket. We are now in that we go to concerts to see old icons.
And listen, we saw some very lovely people. We had some great conversation.
We absolutely did not. We were forced to secondhand be involved in a conversation, because this dude, who is one of those loud dudes who, you know,
we're gonna call him Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus is not a good term, but Uncle Billy, you know, Uncle Billy, who was probably cute when he was younger, and so or cute enough and thought he could pull every lady. So he has no shame in talking to every woman, no matter how far out of his league. And he's been doing that for 75 years. So whatever. So he.
Baby, wait a minute. Did you hear the part where he said, you see that ring on my finger? I was like.
No, because I was purposely trying not to.
Baby, I looked at that ring again. I said, "You're a Mason." Okay, I was like, all right, okay.
And to answer simple question, the tickets were like $65. I think it's $65 or $75. So it was a lot for an hour, less than an hour show.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
So I was just like, I was kind of pissed, well, less pissed off. I was definitely pissed off at first.
I think you were disappointed.
Disappointed was definitely how I was feeling. Because listen, she's 79, but Patti LaBelle is not one of them people that I had no. If she had kicked off shoes and she got on the ground a little bit, but she could have sat in a chair and just sang her fucking ass off for 2 hours, and I would have been perfectly fine, because I'm here, and I think most of those people there were there for her voice. And so if she had been like rolling around on the ground, we'd have been like, bitch, you are going to have a hard time getting up.
And she did. When she got there, she had a hard time going down.
Going down she went down like 3 stairs to the riser to interact with Gucci or whatever the fuck his name was. And baby, she was so out of breath and they had to help her back up. And so that concert was definitely a disappointment.
But remember, she got down on stage again and she tried to roll around for a minute. She rolled over on her stomach. She kicked her legs back, and that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but
it was an experience, and I'm gonna still support the girl, the woman, excuse me. And listen, she, I've really, as I've gotten older, I've started to like her older stuff and stuff that she's done with LaBelle, and one of the songs that you were talking about you hadn't heard in a while, or you hadn't heard before. I was like, yeah, it's on that Best of Patty album, but all that stuff that's like very, in my mind, it is very 1980s, early 90s ballroom background music, like
right.
Is My Way of Life, and all that type of stuff. So it's very like like it's very
And like if she was going to do like an hour and a half, she got enough hits that she could have just did that.
Oh yeah.
And walked through. I just felt like the pacing of it was off. Everything was off. I agree with Bougie Girl. She's like Frankie Beverly. She needs to sound like the records. Exactly. When we hear Southern Girl, we don't need to hear. We don't need to hear the new mix to Southern Girl. Before I Let Go. We want to hear Before I Let Go just exactly as it sounds on the fucking radio, not the remix version of it.
So listen. When You've Been Blessed is definitely a favorite, but my all-time favorite song by Patti LaBelle, and there's several, but the first one that I really, really enjoyed and loved to death, Music Is My Way of Life. Baby, I will let that play over and over and over again.
And so yeah, it was a disappointment, but let's just roll on through.
Yes. So, but yeah.
Just a little disappointed if a hostess tells you, oh, why don't you just bring a salad? If that happens, bring this salad and everyone will be talking about it for holidays to come. You're going to first take a head of iceberg lettuce, wash it really good, and dice it up small. Layer it in a baking dish. Then we're going to dice up some fully cooked ham. And now at this point in the recipe, you can add a lot of different things. My Nana likes to add water chestnuts and bell peppers and celery. I'm keeping it pretty simple. One thing, though, you have to add is frozen peas. Take them out, rinse them, and then dry them really well. That way they don't make your salad all watery. Then you're going to add frozen peas on top of the lettuce, ham, and whatever else you want to put in there. You're going to cover it in mayonnaise, okay? And you're going to smooth it out so everything is nice and covered. You won't have any dry bits. You're then going to take a little bit of sugar, and you're going to sprinkle on top of this mayonnaise. And at this point, if you're making this the day before, this is where you would stop the recipe and you would wrap it up really good in plastic wrap and put it in the fridge overnight. Then the next day or 5 hours later, however long before you're serving it, you're going to take and chop up some green onions and sprinkle on top. Then I like to take a boiled egg and mince it up really nice and fine and add into the top of the salad. Next comes bacon, crispy and chopped up. Final ingredient is cheese, which I'm only going to put on half because I have some dairy allergies. And besides the cheese, everything else is dairy free. Take this for your salad and people will request it every year. It is a fan favorite.
So I'm going to just say that.
Hold up. Did she say the rest of this is dairy free? That's what she said?
Well, yeah, because mayonnaise is dairy free.
Okay. All right.
Exactly. Bougie Girl, I am right there with you. Swan dives out of 40th floor window. Because I was like, all of that doesn't necessarily sound bad, except for the mayonnaise. Maybe she had put that ranch dressing. But I was like, there's all of that just unseasoned, undressed lettuce underneath that top layer. And then when she was like, when you make this salad, all of your friends are going to request it. I was like, all of my friends are going to be like, never come to my house again.
Okay, well, listen, I'm all for it, making a quick salad, and I actually like a good salad, especially in a good presentation or a good bowl. And I have all my ingredients. I'm gonna make you a fab motherfucking salad, and I will fuck it up. But
this was not a fab motherfucking salad.
And then sugar on top of it with the man. And I was already in
right. She and that she did it like she did something like with that sugar. It was like, oh, the sugar does. I was like, this is bullshit. This is awful.
So you making like a sweet mayonnaise dip? That's what we doing. That's what it is. Like then you gonna put some. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, girl. Well, all right.
And here's the funny thing about that is people say white people can't cook. I was like, American white people can't cook because Italians can cook. Spanish people can cook. French people can cook. It's these hoes here in this country that do this bland shit that their ancestors would be like somebody's grandmother or great grandmother is like, bitch, this is not what I taught y'all to cook. And then you talk about this as spicy. Okay, girl. Anyway. All right. So next.
I don't know.
Yeah, she worked on that 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah, in the 70s?
No, 1992. What? 1992, 30 years ago. No. Yeah. No. Yeah, she.
Okay, so the way I was just like, fuck you for pointing me out like that.
So again, I will share this,
Mm-hmm.
and he is on here. So 30, I went over for my fraternity 32 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that hits right now, and I remember the first time it hit me when we were hanging out. I was hanging out with one of my line brothers, and he said, I was just being born. The way she looked at that camera, and she was just like, no. When I tell you I had to sit back for a minute and get myself together. I mean, that's what I felt on the inside, but I was like, what? Then I was mad at myself because I was like, you old bitch, what is wrong with you? Oh, but yes, that is
a gagger.
So just to be clear, that is how I felt about it.
So here's a gagger before we move on to the next one. You and I graduated from high school in 1989.
Stop.
It's too late. I've already started it now. On June 5th, 2024, it will be 35 years since I graduated from high school. In some ways, it feels like it's been 35 years, but in most ways, that shit feels like it happened maybe 10 years ago.
See, I'm still having that moment when you just put the 5 after it. I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. And the girls be like, wow, I graduated from high school 10 years ago. That seems so long ago. I'm like, okay.
Or no. Here's this one. How about you looking at something and you're filling something out and you're like, oh, you fill out your age in this age bracket or looking for the year. And then you're like on your phone trying to scroll down to, you're like, okay, it's 2023. You're like, okay, I'm going to scroll that. I'm going to scroll.
You got to do like 3 big twirls before you get to 1971.
Right. You're like trying to spin the wheel. Like,
right.
And you're like, oh, damn it. Like, okay.
So this is how I know I feel most days, and I think you do too.
I don't want to go to work. I don't want to work tomorrow. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to work tomorrow. I just ain't gonna go to work. I don't want to work tomorrow. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to work tomorrow.
I think that sounds about right.
I'm here for that. I think I could go for. I think we could both do that. I don't want to go to work. Yeah, I think Grace and I could both agree on that one.
All right, so next. Oh, sorry. We'll remember this guy. This guy has more ridiculous things to say.
Date somebody your own age. Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you dating women your own age?
Some women, not all. Not all. Some women be pretty when they're young. When they get older, they be looking bad.
There's
the older women don't
dynamic.
be fit. They don't be friendly. They don't be feminine. They don't be cooperative.
So women
and they don't be submissive.
A lot of times, men want to date somebody so much younger because y'all be wanting somebody to train. That's what it is.
Yeah, sometimes.
And men say that. Women are not things to train.
Well, she could train up. It said train up a child the way they should go.
But that's why y'all be wanting to date children.
No, but
that's why y'all be wanting to date children.
So listen, I see older guys date young girls all the time. You understand?
We do, but that doesn't say that there's nothing wrong with that, though. Just because it's normalized does not mean that it's okay.
Baby, she said a whole word right there.
That the entire just because it's normalized does not mean it is okay.
Thank you, Lola. Who was dating this man? Reveal yourself. That everything that he said was disgusting in one way or another. He said, train up a child. I was like, that's a grown-ass woman, not a child. Also, this idea that so many men want someone who is submissive because you don't want anyone to challenge your authority. What kind of weak bitch ass shit is that? Listen, I am definitely the dominant partner in my relationship, but that doesn't mean that I want someone who is submissive. And actually, what I probably mean by submissive, and you mean, and a significant number of the people that are watching this, is not the same thing that this dude means. I don't need do some people want somebody that cleans up behind them and does all of that? Yeah. But we're just talking about fun sexual stuff, this whole idea that a woman is supposed to be submissive, and so many men want to do that, but even if they want to do that, they're not good at leading. So how you want a bitch to follow you and what?
Well,
and then they're not feminine, they not attractive, they not whatever. I'm just like, thank you. He needs an intervention.
So, but the other part of that is, are they not submissive, or are they not submissive to you? And if that's the case, then what makes you? Because every woman that I know, in some way, shape, or form, wants to at least have the option to cater to the person that they are with in some way, shape, or form. Some people could call that submission on one side, but there's something about, let me do for my man, that a lot of women will do if they're really into them. And it sounds like to me, what you're saying is, young man, and as cute as you may be right now with this haircut and this half a rug that you got up here on the top of your head, it sounds like to me that some of these women aren't necessarily that much into you. Like you might be good to look at, but there's nothing on the inside. There's no substance. And maybe that's why they're not submissive to you. I don't know, but
these waves is still bothering me so fiercely.
Listen,
the wave pattern here is just bothering me fiercely.
So
normally I wouldn't talk about it, but he's made a career out of saying negative things about women. And I'm the kind of person that won't call you fat until you start calling somebody else fat, and then I'll be like, bitch, who the fuck you think you are with your fat ass?
Listen, I think that hair needs to be brushed on the side, but the more important thing is why I keep saying I'm saying a rug. When if you have a brush cut, if you have a Caesar and it's in the front, there should not be a lip like the cap, the front of your
right
face
here
to grab on. That's the problem that I have. You need a haircut. That's it. I'm not even going to talk about.
What this is? Let me be clear. As a person who dyes their beard, that's what this is right here.
Yeah,
that's the new growth. And let's just be clear, he did this himself because his barber did not do this.
Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm just like, all right, whatever.
So fuck this guy. So we did that one. We did this one. We did this one. All right. So now we've got a few quick Instagrams. Can you see?
Yep.
I really want to McDonald's.
Seen her.
Yeah, we saw her.
Nice frolic weekend in Provincetown is coming up, and I hear about a cruising spot called Dick Dock that I might want to frolic at. Here are 9 things that are essential for you to bring to any cruising spot, dark room, sex party, or bathhouse. 1, a small fanny pack. I bought these for $5 each, multiple colors because I'm a fashionable slut. It holds all you need and it doesn't get in the way. If you're fucking, turn it to the back. If you're getting fucked, turn it to the front. And if you're verse or siding, turn it to the side. 2, lube, baby, but not inside my fanny pack because that's gonna spill. Instead, you're gonna find a cheap bottle of clip-on hand sanitizer, dump it out and wash it, refill it with your lube, and attach it to your fanny pack for easy access. You're welcome. 3, VHS cleaner for all the tapes you're going to clean. 4, breath spray for all the ass you're going to eat. 5, chapstick for all the dicks you're going to suck. 6, baby wipes, because you're going to get dirty, you nasty butch queen. Put them in a plastic bag. 7, condoms for those that use them. 8, now in the front pocket, put your cash, your ID, 1 debit or credit card, and any other small things you don't want to lose. This is a section you don't want to open unless necessary. 9, your phone. Fits like a dick in a butt. I'll see you at Frolic Weekend. Follow for Butch Queen advice, Frolic Weekend in Providence.
I have several things to say. What kind of ass you're eating that you gotta clean your breath afterwards? If it smells like that to the point where it makes your breath stink, it shouldn't. You should. I'm just gonna go.
We're gonna go past it. We're gonna go past it.
I'm disgusted. I can't get past it.
It's okay, but it's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's
okay. I can't.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I can't.
But you can.
Yes,
you can.
You would put.
But
first of all, you do the finger test. First of all, if it passes the finger test, then you can lick it. Exactly, eccentric. Lewis. But he didn't say after you finish having sex, you know, now you're going to do whatever. You said you need to use breath spray because of the ass you're eating. I'm just like, what?
Now, listen, Devon got the right idea.
I will say that I did have someone. They took some mouthwash and then they sucked me off, and I was like.
And listen, it don't even have. It's a mouthwash if you want to do it real quick, but you can also just get yourself a good old Halls or a Lifesaver, peppermint.
So Dylan says you are yucking someone else's yum, to which I say, yuck.
He's right. He's right.
Good for him.
But if that's how you
word around the office is you've got a fat cock.
Yes, I do.
I've got a fat cock too. Maybe we should rub our fat cocks together sometime. Maybe a little oil. 2 fat cocks together. Oil. Word around the office is you've got a fat cock.
Yes, I do.
So this is what I mean by Amtrak cute. That black guy, or not that black guy, that white guy is probably one of the cuter guys in the office. And for that environment, he's probably the most doable person there. But if we're at the club or wherever, he would just be vanilla at best. Also, we had seen this video before, but it had stopped off at the word around the office that you got a fat cock, and I was just interested to hear the whole backstory. Now that you know it, don't you feel like better?
Sure, Jan. Sure. Sure.
Are you gay?
How you gonna ask me a question like that?
How do you marry a woman and then turn around and let a man bend you over?
Ain't nobody bending me over.
Oh, so you doing the bending? Is that what it is? Are you gay?
How you gonna ask?
Barbie's expressions in this is everything.
It's the crying eyes. She was like,
it's the crying eyes, and it's also the head turn. She was like, oh, so you doing the bending.
Lord.
I got titties at the top and dick at the bottom. Titties at the top and dick at the bottom. Titties at the top and dick at the bottom. I got titties at the top and dick at the bottom. Now you know up front, so it won't be a fucking problem. Titties at the top and dick at the bottom. Titties at the top and dick at the bottom. I got titties at the top and dick at the bottom. Now you know up front, so it won't be a fucking problem. I'm up front with it, I'ma keep it blunt with it. I'm a trans woman with a dick and a rack of titties. We ain't got a lot cause we live in a different time. Nigga said he want a 10, well I got titties.
Baby.
It's a bop though. It is a bop.
It's a bop.
It's a bop. Listen, because I heard it before. It's a bop. I'm just saying, it's a bop.
I have not heard this before, but I will be spending my vacation looking for the full song.
In fact, if the person that I saw doing it, I used to see them do lives all the time. And so when I heard this, I was like, what? I was like, okay. But then it went in their lives, they have a date or a boo thing or whatever they're calling him. And that's specifically what she talked about all the time. She was like, I'm gonna get in that ass a little bit later. I'd be like, What? Okay, well, all right, girl.
She drew her lashes.
Again, what is that on your face? It's liner. What is it? It's a pencil. It's supposed to be an eyelash? Yeah, I don't wear the fake ones. Oh, so you draw the lashes on? Yes. You see that? That's nice. Wow. 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 Okay.
She.
So listen. We're gonna go ahead to the next video because we're not gonna comment on that, baby.
That was the last video, actually.
Okay, well then let's go on to the next into the news articles. We're not comment on that, baby. I think that there's something we just not.
So oh, I do have one other thing. Sorry, I gotta share this. Hold on. Share screen. Window. Where is it? Oh, right here. All right. All right. Can you see this?
You're not sharing yet.
Oh, I gotta put it on in the thing. All right. Can you see this?
Yes.
All right. So see, I moved it, and so now I've screwed everything up. All right. Can you still see it?
Yes.
So I want just all of y'all to know that I am off the market because I have found love.
You want to make that larger or read it? Wait a minute. Let me make my screen larger. Okay.
Is that better?
Yes.
All right. Hello, all guys. I know my message may be too specific, but my sister found nice man here and they married. So how about me? I am 27 years old, Katarina from Romania. I know English and German languages also, and I have specific disease named nymphomania. Who know what is this? Can understand me. Better to say it immediately. Ah, yes, I cook very tasty, and I love not only cook, wink, wink. I'm real girl, not prostitute, and I'm looking for serious and hot relationships. Anyway, you can find my profile here. I'm off the market. I'm just telling y'all that now.
You know why you off the market? Because they done kidnapped your ass and sold you into slavery, into fucking sex slavery. That's what the fuck it is. That's what who the hell responds to these damn messages and where they?
Whoever is like, yes, like whoever like is like legitimately said to their friends, yeah, this is a woman named Katharina.
That is
from Romania
to a sex slave ring. That's what that is.
That is an opportunity to get all your money stolen is what it is. Because when you click on that link, it is going to instantly take over your computer. You know how people when someone gets hacked on Facebook, it is probably whenever they do that, I'm always like, what did you click on that you weren't supposed to click on? Some dude showed you a picture of his booty hole or his dick in Facebook Messenger, and you clicked on the link thinking that you was horny or you was gonna get lucky, or finally this was the one dude from Ghana who was really gonna come visit you.
Ciao.
Anyway, go ahead with your stories.
Ciao. Listen, we're gonna go through these real fast. This is the season finale. We want to get y'all to the getting, and we want to have some good times. And yeah. So listen, some sad news. Andre Brower, star of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Homicide: Life on the Street, died at age of 61. He's the intense actor who won an Emmy for Homicide: Life on the Street and demonstrated his range in the comedy series Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He died at 61 Monday due to a brief illness, his publicist told CNN. He amassed dozens of credits in movies and televisions. After a stunning debut as a sensitive soldier in the 1989 film Glory, about a unit of Black soldiers during the Civil War, along with Denzel Washington. He followed that by playing baseball great Jackie Robinson. Then he also went on and spent 3 seasons playing opposite Ray Romano on another series called Men of a Certain Age, before returning as another cop as Captain Ray Holt in the Andy Samberg comedy Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And he was on there for 8 seasons, and he received several Emmy nominations for those as well. But he got his second Emmy in 2006 for the FX miniseries Thief, and he had a total of 11 nominations overall. He was born in Chicago, graduated from Stanford, and later attended Juilliard. Brower's wife, Amy Brabson, is also an actor, and the two married in 1991. So our condolences to.
Yeah, it was really sad when I saw it, because some of that shit happens online and you're like, okay, this is a stunt or whatever. But no, this was real.
Yeah. And speaking of stunts, so I mentioned last week about Jonathan Majors.
Oh, shit. We forgot to do our, we aren't going to have time to do our stunt queens, but.
So I mentioned last week about Jonathan Majors and about how he made some comments about his ex-girlfriend. So what happened was there's new video that was released on Wednesday about his domestic assault trial that shows his girlfriend of the then actor, Lord have mercy, his then girlfriend of the actor Jonathan Majors, chasing him down the street several. Now, see, I have
Get your words together.
I have straight Coca-Cola, and I'm still messing up. But anyway. There was a video of him running down the street being chased by her, basically. Now, the surveillance footage played for jurors in the Manhattan criminal court shows Majors lifting up his ex, Grace Jabari, and shoving her several times in the back of a black Cadillac. Now, she eventually follows Majors out of the SUV and on the corner of the center streets, and she was, tracing after him or whatever. All that stuff happened. But Majors pleaded not guilty to a misdemeanor assault and harassment charges, with his lawyers arguing that Jabari was the aggressor. Now, the encounter erupted after Jabari discovered evidence that he had been cheating on her, which was from a flirty text. She's a dancer, and they had initially met on the set of Ant-Man when Jonathan Majors was in that movie. And the court also released a full recording of Majors lecturing Jabari in December of 2022 that she needed to act more like the wives of other notable men like Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King, after he claimed that she had returned drunk to their London home. Now, he said, Coretta Scott King, do you know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife. So this is what he was saying in these recordings. He said, I'm just going to say this. My temper, my shit, all that, I'm a great man. A great man. I'm doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world, the actor adds. That is actually the position I'm in. That's real. I'm not being a dick about it. I didn't ask for it. I've worked, and that's the situation. So he continues on. He says, the woman that supports me, that I support, needs to be a great woman to make sacrifice the way that man is making for her and for them ultimately. 2 nights ago, you did not do that. You did not do that, which took away from the plan, and the plan is everything. So the record also released the full text messages exchange where Majors and Jabari, where he urged her not to seek medical attention for a separate September episode that left her with a head injury. He said, and I quote, "I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital. They will ask you questions, and as I don't think you actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something." She responded and said that she would tell the doctor that she bumped her head. And then she said, why would I want to tell them that what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you? Listen, this whole trial has turned out to be very messy, because in this particular article where it actually talked about the full text messages and also the videos and the pictures, if you go into the New York Post, you can see the pictures. And when I tell you, there's a lot of stuff going on in these pictures, between him trying to push her back into the car, him running down the street, her chasing him. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So when I read these comments and these text messages, it made me look at this a little bit differently. I still think that no grown person needs to put their hands on anybody else in any way, shape, or form, but it just made me look at this a little bit differently. And I'm like, I don't know how this is, but we will find out what's going to go on, because these are misdemeanor charges, and we will see how this is going to turn out, because if he is convicted, he's going to face up to a year in jail. So unfortunately, I think that the man's career is already sank to a level that I don't know how much higher he can raise from where he is. So we're going to hope for the best and hope everything works out for him. In other news, this story that I found in the Atlanta Black Star, this gentleman took a woman out to eat, and she ate up to 48 oysters in one sitting and expected him to cover the tab. Now, let me tell you what this is. So there's an Atlanta influencer who's facing backlash after a video of of the woman eating 48 oysters on a first date went viral on social media. Now, the TikToker, her name is Iquiana, says she agreed to meet her male suitor at Fontaine's Oyster House, which claims it has the freshest oysters in the city. She said, "Today I was bored, I had some time, and according to Iquiana, Fontaine's has a $15 special on a dozen oysters on Tuesdays, and she decided to indulge." She said they got the best oysters in Atlanta, like hands down. She's going on and on about how great it is. So she said she made these comments before the fourth platter came out of oysters. And she said when the fourth one came out, he was looking at me crazy. And she said, "I don't give a fuck." I'm like, "Baby, you invited me out and I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat. I was coming anyway. I ain't gonna lie. Now I would have had, I just gotta eat." So she continued. She said it was good. And she said, "I had to do it." Now, excited what they would eat next, she ordered a few cocktails, crab cakes, and potatoes. But then she realized her date had never returned from the bathroom and left her with the bill. She said, "I was like, hold on, it's been 10, 20, 30 minutes. And she was like, what the hell's going on?" So then she texted her date, who argued that he invited her out for drinks and he didn't expect her to order so much food. He offered to reimburse her for the drinks, which is a screenshot from Equiana's social media page shows. Now, the viewers didn't take kindly to Equiana's gluttony on the date. She refused a slew of backlash from some of the more than 5 million people who watched the videos. They said, some of them said stuff like, he has the best. Tell me about your worst date experience. That's what one viewer said. Then another one said, "This is trifling and no decorum whatsoever." And then someone else said, "The way I would have dislocated my ankle trying to get out of there."
Shoot off my foot.
Many were turned off by her table manners. One person said, "I could barely listen to you slurping, so I can imagine how bad it was to actually watch." So listen, some people question the validity of her story. Another TikToker visited Fontaine's with a friend to see if it was humanly possible to eat 4 dozen oysters and cocktails and to follow up on the viral encounter. She said, "I asked the waiter about the woman who came here and ate 48 oysters. He said, she's here every Tuesday, and she was, in fact, on a date. So it's confirmed." Now, the general manager of the restaurant said that the encounter is not uncommon in Atlanta, and this is nothing new for us. She said, "It's just quite funny what happened this time." Listen, if I take somebody out and I say, "Yes, we're going to have dinner," if she got 48 oysters, that's 4 dozen. I mean, well, not 4. That's 4. You ordered 4 menu items at $15. So that's $60 right there for your oysters. We're not talking about your crab cakes. We're not talking about your drinks. We're not talking about and then we got to add.
Wait a minute, sir. Oh, it's on a dozen oysters. I thought it was $15 per oyster. Okay, so
no, $15 for the dozen.
So that's 60. That's right. 60. Okay,
so that's $60 for just her oysters, not her drinks, not her crab cakes, not any of that other stuff, and also not including my stuff. So I'm saying for me, I'd be like, "Well, wait a minute, girl. Now hold up. First of all, how many oysters are you get ready to eat? Like, I want you to enjoy yourself, but how many?"
I don't understand how you would even have capacity in your stomach after eating 48 oysters to then turn around. I mean, I guess you had a lot of capacity when you don't think you're going to pay for it, which is always my issue. When he was like, "Wait a minute, he's been offered a reimbursement for a drink," because first of all, you aren't on a date. You're there filming content. That's not a date.
Listen. She knew that this man liked her. She did film content, and he agreed to it. And so I think that might be, I don't know. That's just not my thing. I don't want to go on a first date with somebody who's going to film content. I don't want to do that. So I definitely would have had a conversation about that before we even went out. And especially when we got there, when you try to pull it out, "Oh no, we're not going to do that. That's not what we're doing. We sit there having a conversation. That's not what we're doing. Let's focus on each other." But at the point where you get to your 4th order of oysters, baby girl, you ain't ate all this month, or like what? What's going on?
We aren't going to re-legislate too much of this, but it all goes back to what some people think the purpose of dating is. And it feels like too many people seem to think that it's a way to get a free meal in exchange for But then if you was like, so we fucking, then you'd be like, oh, just because we went out, I didn't say we was gonna fuck. Yeah, but bitch, but you sat here and ate 48 oysters and a bunch of other shit, and then I'm just supposed to be like grateful for your company.
You placed that order 4 times when you initially sat down, and 3 additional times. 3. So you had 4 orders of oysters.
And if you're sitting there eating oysters back to back to back, what's the date? Because the dude is just sitting there watching you fucking eat oysters.
What I'm getting ready to say is, baby, I'm glad you got yourself up on out of there and got on home, because you know this young lady is getting ready to suck you dry for everything that you had. And even if you did have a relationship, trust me, your relationship was going to be.
It was going to be a whole mess from the jump. You dodged the biggest bullet in all of creation, and now you have a good story to tell the woman that you're ultimately going to marry, who is going to respect you, and maybe you will take her out on a date, and maybe you'll end up paying, but she ain't gonna eat 48 oysters. She ain't gonna be filming content. She's going to be there so that you can get to know her and she can get to know you.
Yes, you did have the worst date on the planet. Yes, you did. Yes, you do have a story to tell your grandkids. Yes, you did, about some greedy bitch that ate 4 dozen orders of oysters on your bill. Yes, you did. And you got the fuck up and rolled out. Yes, you did. You had one of the worst dates on the planet. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
She said, and here's what she said. When the 4th one came out, he was looking at me crazy. She said, I don't give a fuck. Like, baby, you invited me out and I'ma eat. I was coming anyway. Good. Since you was coming anyway, that means you was already prepared to pay for it. So good for you. Because again, if we had come out, right, and we were together, if we were both like, bitch, or not bitch, like, you know what, I fucking love oysters. She's like, you know what, I love oysters too. And together, you all are eating oysters and you clean that fucking place out and you ate their little $15 oyster special together, and you all are sitting there and having cute conversations and talking about whatever. No. That's a date.
They didn't eat it together. She ate.
That's what I'm saying. That's a date.
Right.
Me sitting there watch you slurp down 4 dozen oysters is not a date, nor is it any fun for me. I didn't sign up to pay for an all-you-can-eat contest.
Listen, 48 or like I just.
Child, I mean, I don't really eat oysters, but I just feel like 48 of anything would make my skin itch like that.
And I listen, I get it. Like I can eat crabs and I can go for crabs, but there's a limit to how many crabs I can eat. I'll be like, all right, now wait a minute, hold up. Now,
also, certain things I don't feel like I want to eat on a first date with somebody because it's a little messy. And, you know, while I don't want to put on airs like I can't get messy, neither do I want to have food all over my shirt or cracked oyster shit, lobster shit, crab shells and crab juice and bits all under my. So, what's your name? Your name is Epic. That's a pretty name.
Girl, listen, let me go and get you a napkin and some water. As a matter of fact, I'll be right back.
I'll be right. Let me run to the bathroom real quick. Baby, and this tells you were so focused on eating your oysters, you didn't even know this bitch was gone for 30 minutes.
Listen, I am so glad that I have not run into some of these types of people, because some of these reactions, I'm like, these are the first things that come to mind. I'm like, get your ass up and get. And again, my first mind has never steered me wrong. It's when I don't listen to it, that's when I get fucked up. Because my first mind never steers me wrong. I just have this problem of listening to it. But baby, if I had listened to my first mind every single time it happened, baby, I would probably be sitting on probably billions of dollars at this particular point. But baby, I listen. It's hard to sit and listen to your first mind sometimes. I'm getting back.
All right. So you know what we're going to do? We are going to legitimately poll our super fans for their Stunt Queen of the Year. And when we have our first show, we'll open the show with the Stunt Queen of the Year for 2023.
That is correct. And listen, wait a minute. Bougie Girl, thank you so much, because that is exactly what it is. That bitch ain't shit. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. And Bougie Girl said, that's a sponsorship. And, you know, listen, again, if you say that shit up front, because there are some dudes that are either into that or don't think that they're attractive enough to deserve better or what. But don't just show up and think I'm gonna pay for you to.
First of all, the assumption that I'm going to pay is the part that pisses me off. Now,
But you know what? That is such a heterosexual paradigm, and so many heterosexuals get so wrapped up in that, like the man should pay. And I'm like, but why though? You know, because we supposedly have moved beyond. Well, men and women aren't totally equal, but we're supposed to be in this equality thing. So why is it assumed that I would pay for you to go out when we go out on a date? Not that it's different if I totally offer, because if I offer because of the way that I was raised or whatever, but for you, just without having any conversation, to assume that when we go out that I'm going to pay for the date because you look good. I mean, yeah, I get that you spent time getting together, and I'm not suggesting that that is not that. But again, a lot of times when I say these things, I was like, I'm so glad I'm not a heterosexual, so I don't even have to negotiate none of this foolishness. Because I've had dudes that have been like, well, I'm the bottom, so you got to pay. I was like, yeah, I'm telling you right now to save yourself the trouble, because this is not a match. That statement right there tells me that you and I are not a match, because we're both dudes, and I might take you out because, you know, I think you're deserving of it once or twice, but you're not going to assume that I should pay for you because of whatever, some essentially arbitrary thing. Because even though people's like, yeah, I don't get fucked or whatever, that is an arbitrary decision. There's nothing stopping you from getting fucked. Listen, that is all entirely arbitrary. And I hope people realize and understand that.
I just don't. I'm glad that I'm hearing about some of these stories, because I'm not 100% off. Because I swear to God, I used to be like, wait a minute, is it me? Because I have to ask. I try to check my, like, is it just I'm correct? I am glad that I have not had that situation. And I'm not gonna say it's never. It can't happen to me. But baby, the moment I recognize, like, oh, I gotta go. Let me go ahead and pay my shit, keep it moving. Because if I'm going out with somebody and we're going, and even in the relationships that I've been in, like, we literally have had conversations where I was like, let's go out to eat. Who got money? You got money? Because if you got money, you can pay for it, because I ain't got no money to pay for myself. Oh, you got money? Okay, well, great. Come on. I've literally had those types of conversations with the person I was dating, and that's how we have gone out. But also, I've also had those conversations where it's like, we get out and it's like, I'll grab the bill, or they'll grab the bill, and that's it. And we call it, like, I don't.
That's the good thing about my relationship, is that we go out, there's never a conversation. As soon as it's time for the bill, both cards come out and we split it down the middle. Now, if it's my birthday or if it's his birthday or we're doing something special, then one of us may treat the other. Or there's been time, like when we were in Vegas, because of some other things that didn't hit right, I didn't have all the money that I was supposed to in Vegas. But so he paid for like the entire trip. But I was like, the moment we get back, please give me a tally. And when I get paid, I will be cash apping you my half of it. So it was not like, oh, you're expecting me. It's for me, it's the expectation that someone is going to do something for you because of some arbitrary social convention.
Listen, here, communication goes a long way, but even amongst friends. Like, listen, I, because it's me. I've had several conversations with people like, hey, this is not the time. I don't have this money or whatever. And, you know, maybe you do that, I'll reimburse you or whatever. You and I have had those conversations, but where's the communication part? Like, just tell me what that is.
And you and I have also had communications, not about us, but about other people who have gone out with us and then sat through the whole meal and then been like, you know, I don't have no money. I was like, no, bitch, I don't know that, because I'm not in your pocket like that. I assume that any grown person who is not living with their mother or father, if we say we are going out, whether it is to McDonald's for a fucking kids meal or whether we are going to a $500 a plate dinner, the moment you said I'm going, you got money to go, because you can always say, I don't have the money to go, or you can say, I want to go, but I need you to cover me. you don't just show up and then be like, oh, well, because what'll happen if I'd have been like, well, bitch, I only got enough to cover my share.
And and the other part of that too is, if I'm in a friendship relationship with you and you're close enough, like, first of all, nobody's not gonna eat. So let's start with that.
Generally, it's that. But if you
make a habit out of this,
yeah, then you'll find yourself. It's like, hey, Dominion, you've been out a couple times and you don't invite me, and I'm gonna be like, oh. At first, I'm gonna try not to engage because I don't want to argue. I'm just gonna be like, oh, girl, I forgot. But then if you keep pressing it, I'm like, girl, because you don't ever have any money, and the money that I make is to support what I want to do, not to support what you and I want to do.
Listen,
and people that do that are never like, oh, we're here, right? If they never say, if you choose here instead of here, then I'm good. They're always like, I don't have any money at all, which to me, I'm like, well, then why are you even here?
I was gonna say, we just had the whole big pixelated, I don't know if that was your side, my side, or whatever, but it was like,
oh, maybe it was on my side for a second, but am I back?
No, you're back. You're back. So, oh, Desmond, now you decide to make it. You late, but you here. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, darling.
All right, let's show that beautiful bean footage.
Right.
We'll be right back. Wrong one. So I do want to, on a serious note, talk about what's happening in Gaza, because I think that we as Black people can sympathize and see ourselves in what's happening in Gaza. And this is the Black, Gay, Kinky Human Show. A population who is being forced off of the land that they've lived in for generations and oppressed by a mostly white power structure. And I want to read a poem by Rafat Al-Arir, who was an acclaimed Palestinian academic and activist who was killed by an Israeli airstrike in Gaza City earlier this week. The poem is particularly good, but the reason that I wanted to read it is because these airstrikes seem to be targeting journalists. They say they're going after Hamas, but they're targeting journalists and those who are speaking out about the opposition. And it just so happens that they always happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, which is something that we as Black people in this country have heard a lot of. So the poem is called If I Must Die, not If We Must Die, which is the poem by Claude McKay, but this one is called If I Must Die by Rafat Al-Arir. If I must die, you must live, to tell my story, to sell my things, to buy a piece of cloth and some strings. Excuse me. To buy a piece of cloth and some strings, make it white with a long tail, so that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dad who left in a blaze and bid no one farewell, not even to his flesh, not even to himself, sees the kite, my kite you made, flying up above, and thinks for a moment an angel is there bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope. Let it be a tale.
Beautiful.
And so I don't, we don't necessarily touch on all of the heavy stuff that's going on in the world because there's like a ton of other things for that. But, this was just something I felt strongly about, and I felt that poem sort of touched me.
Yeah, and we definitely with the show try to keep it, because out of all the things that are going on, because there's always something that's going on, we want this to be a happy space. But many times there are things that we definitely need to bring into this space just to let people, or not let people know, but to let them know that we are aware and that this may be affecting you as well. So, and if it's not you, it's someone that you know, or someone that you love. So yeah, it happens. It spills over sometimes.
And as the saying goes, we can't, if one of us is free, none of us can be free. And anyway, so I could go on forever about this, but you likely have friends who are Palestinian or otherwise have involvement. So do what you can to let those in power know how you feel about what is being done in our name and with our money.
That is true.
I want to say thank you for sticking with us. There are so many things you could be doing every Wednesday between 8 and 9:30 every Wednesday ish, because we're at 9:48 now. But there's so many things that you could be doing, and yet you tune in to listen to us party and bullshit for an hour and a half. And thank you for your contributions. Thank you to our super fans, to Desmond, to Eccentric, to Lola, to Bougie Girl, to Louboutin, to who else are we missing? To Josh, to
Spesh,
Yvonne, to Spesh, to Best Friend, to Dylan, to all of those people who tune in religiously and make this show what it is. Because if it was just, the two of us could just sit around and party and bullshit and we'll be perfectly fine. But what really makes it is our interaction with you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Episode 239. We have been doing this for 239 times. Baby, if we were actually a syndicated show, it would be more money, because you need 100 episodes to get syndicated.
Baby. But we don't necessarily need to be syndicated, but what you can do is you can like and share and get people to subscribe and make sure that they tune in every Wednesday. Now, here's the thing. We get ready to go on this hiatus. We're not going to come back until the Wednesday after Martin Luther King Day. So that we'll be there to talk about.
That is January the 17th.
Right. So we'll be there to talk about all the NAL shenanigans and everything else that's going on from now until then. So that's when we come back, and we will also be able to announce the stunt queen of the year at that particular point, because we're going to do that survey. We will also be previewing. There's a new edition that's going to be finished in the Gay Boy condo over here at Velvet Hills.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what So we're gonna have a few things going on. I'm not sure what's going on over at the Gay Boy Mansion, but I'm sure there's gonna be something that's gonna be going on brand new for 2024, because that's just what we do.
Oh, for sure.
That's what we do. So, but yes, again, that sentiment of you having 80,000 other things to do, but you choose to be with us. I feel it wholeheartedly, and I mean it, and I love the fact that you choose us every Wednesday to come through. So I'm very, very appreciative and so happy and so glad that we could spend this time together, just to laugh.
I'm so glad that we could spend this time together,
just to laugh and tell a joke or two.
I don't know the rest of the words to this song,
but we are the
BGKH show. And you know what that stands for? Black Gay. Kinky. But most of all, human.
And there it is. There it is. We're going back to the basics. That's what we're doing.
All right, loves. We love you so much. We will see you on January 17th. We will see many of you in the weeks leading up to that, locally here in DC, down in Florida, and at MAL. So
yes, indeed. And listen, please enjoy the holidays. Be safe.
Be safe.
Please check in on your loved ones, even the ones that you feel like they are strong. Check in on them, just see how they're doing.
And always do not drink and drive. I just want to be very clear about that. Baby, please call an Uber or a Lyft. You know, I'm not looking at anyone in particular. But
no, I'm trying to get my designated driver. Grace, are you driving next week?
No.
Right, because Grace gonna be fucked up too. The fuck.
Oh, I don't know.
See this?
Totally fucked up.
So now,
Merry Christmas to you, eccentric, and happy Christmas Kwanzaa. Yay! Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Love you.